Hey guys, welcome to the Miami Heat channel. Without further ado, let's get to more news, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave a like. Fans react to Joel Embiid missing Christmas Day matchup against Heat, bro stays ducking good teams. NBA Christmas Day will be played without Joel Embiid in action after he was ruled out with an ankle injury. Joel Embiid is having arguably the greatest season of his career, a high bar for a player, coming off an MVP win. With his incredible form, he was one of the marquee talents available to watch on Christmas Day, but the 76ers have announced that Embiid has been ruled out due to an ankle sprain. Fans are not happy, mocking Embiid for ducking a good team like the Miami Heat. 76ers list Joel Embiid as out for Monday's Christmas Day game versus Heat due to an ankle sprain. Fans quickly started making jokes about Embiid missing marquee matchups. It's easy to joke about Embiid missing marquee games, but the logic behind the move cannot be argued. The league has started cracking down on players missing nationally televised games, so missing this matchup is likely not a choice for Joel. Even though his success in December has come against weaker teams, that doesn't mean he's ducking the Heat. He is genuinely dealing with an injury sustained in Philly's last game against the Toronto Raptors. Embiid recently went up against the best team in the NBA, who also have the best defense in the league this season, and dropped 51 points. Joel Embiid proved he's not scared of anyone in that performance against the Minnesota Timberwolves, matching up against one of the early contenders for the Defensive Player of the Year award, Rudy Gobert. Joel is averaging 40.2 points, 12.6 rebounds, and 2.1 blocks in December, getting on pace to become the first player since Wilt Chamberlain in 1961-62 to average more points scored than minutes played. Joel Embiid on pace to repeat as MVP. Even though people want to make themselves believe that Embiid is ducking opponents, there isn't a big case for it this season. However, there is a concerning trend developing in terms of the caliber of teams he did miss games against. He's missed 3 games this season, all coming in November against the Boston Celtics, Minnesota Timberwolves, and New Orleans Pelicans. With the impending missed game against the Heat, it'll mean Embiid has missed 4 games against teams above .500. I chalk it up to misfortunes as compared to an active attempt to duck teams. In the games he has played against strong opponents or weak opponents, he has dominated and established himself as the front-runner in MVP conversations. He's averaging 35.0 points, 11.7 rebounds, and 6.0 assists for the season, on pace to also win his 3rd scoring title in as many years. His incredible skill on the court has allowed the 76ers to sustain the blow of trading last season's assists leader James Harden for expiring salaries and picks. They're still among the contenders in the East and are primed to make a big addition before the trade deadline. People want to rule the 76ers out every season after they collapse in the playoffs, but Embiid keeps giving people hope. His legacy will be defined by what he does in the playoffs, so even another MVP win won't be enough to get his doubters off his back. Report: Jimmy Butler and 2 other Miami Heat players miss practice ahead of Philadelphia 76ers game. The Miami Heat reportedly did not have Haywood Highsmith, Jimmy Butler, or Drew Smith at practice on Sunday ahead of their matchup against the Philadelphia 76ers on Christmas. Butler certainly could still play in the team's game against the Sixers, but it's not a great sign that he and Highsmith did not practice. Smith is out for the season with a knee injury. Butler has missed Miami's last 2 games against the Orlando Magic and Atlanta Hawks, but the team managed to win both games. This season, the Heat star is averaging 21.5 points, 5.2 rebounds, and 4.6 assists per game while shooting 46.2% from the field and 37.7% from beyond the arc. Miami would certainly miss him if he were to sit out on Monday. The Heat seem to finally be getting healthy with Tyler Herro and Bam Adebayo returning to the lineup recently, but now Butler is the latest player to be banged up. The Heat also could use Highsmith, one of their best perimeter defenders, to combat the Sixers' potent offense. Highsmith could potentially be used to guard rising star guard Tyrese Maxey on Monday if he is able to suit up. This season, Highsmith has appeared in 19 games for the Heat, making 14 starts. He is averaging 6.3 points, 2.8 rebounds, and 1.5 assists per game while shooting 42.2% from the field and 33.9% from three-point range. If Butler and Highsmith are unable to go, the Heat will likely rely heavily on Jamie Jaquez Jr. and Caleb Martin on the wing. Jaquez has been impressive in his rookie season, averaging 13.1 points per game while shooting 50.5% from the field. The Heat would love to pick up a win at home, but they are just 8-6 at Kaseya Center so far this season. The Sixers have been a solid road team, winning 8 of their 12 matchups away from home. There should be more clarity from the Heat on Butler and Highsmith's status once the team releases its injury report for the game. As of 11:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Christmas Eve, the team had not submitted an official injury report. The Heat and Sixers are scheduled to tip off at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Christmas. Joel Embiid out for 76ers Christmas Day showdown with Heat due to sprained ankle. In the first quarter Friday night against Toronto, Joel Embiid tweaked his right ankle. He stayed in the game and put up 31 points in a 76ers win, but it was never quite right. The 76ers have ruled him out for the Christmas Day game against the Heat. He did not travel with the team to Miami. Embiid will stay in Philadelphia and receive treatment. His status for the team's next game on the 27th in Orlando remains up in the air. Nicholas Batum also is out for the 76ers, while Jimmy Butler is questionable for the Heat. Embiid is playing better than his MVP season of a year before, averaging 35 points a game on 54% shooting, plus grabbing 11.7 rebounds and dishing out 6 assists a night. The Heat have been outscoring opponents by 12.9 points per 100 possessions when Embiid is on the court this season. In new coach Nick Nurse's system, Embiid has been operating higher on the floor, up near the elbow and nail, and he has thrived as a scorer and a playmaker for others. With Embiid out, look for Paul Reed or Marcus Morris Sr. to get the start, and both will get run. With Batum out, Kelly Oubre Jr. has moved back into the starting lineup.